Coming up, the United States drops the largest ever non-nuclear bomb on an ISIS-occupied area in Afghanistan. What effects does this have on relations in the Middle East?
And April's Sexual Assault Awareness Month. What events does the university have planned to celebrate the month and bring awareness to sexual assaults on college campuses?
A new satellite image shows a nuclear launch field in North Korea ready for another test. How did governments across the globe respond to North Korea's threat? We'll have all of this and more on Citrus TV News Live at 6.
This is Citrus TV News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
Good evening and welcome to Citrus TV News Live at 6. I'm Maria Cinti.
And I'm Mike Riccardi. The United States dropped the largest non-nuclear bomb in history today on an ISIS stronghold near the Afghanistan-Pakistan border.
The 21,000-pound bomb called the GBU-43 was dropped on Nangarhar province and was meant to target a network of tunnels that ISIS members used to move around throughout the area.
Press Secretary Sean Spicer, when questioned on who gave the authority to drop the bomb, directed White House reporters to the Secretary of Defense.
President Trump also spoke today at the White House when asked about the authorization of dropping the weapon.
Everybody knows exactly what happened, and what I do is I authorize my military. We have the greatest military in the world, and they've done a job as usual, so we have given them total authorization.
As for the region in Afghanistan where the bomb was dropped, we spoke with Colonel Bill Smullen on why they chose that specific area.
It's a very remote region in eastern Afghanistan, not far from the Pakistan border. This is not a bomb that penetrates. This is a bomb that is used for very soft or medium surface targets. So when it hits, because the blast is so intense, I mean, there's going to be an awful lot of personnel damage. But it's in a remote area, which is why they chose this area, so that we wouldn't necessarily come after them. So I just think that the target was carefully chosen.
And we also spoke to Associate Professor Miriam Ellman on whether this military action will further help the Afghan government fight ISIS.
I think the calculation is that this will help the Afghan army continue its mop-up of ISIS in that area where it does have, a stronghold. The Afghanis are thrilled. They've been looking for this. They've been looking for greater involvement and more support and more assistance. And they don't have this kind of weaponry that we have. We're the ones that have it. And to be frank, they are not ready to handle the situation on the ground on their own.
Joining us now is Talking Points moderator Josh Carney. Josh, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So last week we had nearly 60 Tomahawk missiles launched at Syria. Today we have the largest non-nuclear bomb dropped in Afghanistan. What do you make of the current escalation?
The current escalations definitely mean that the Trump administration is reaffirming their commitment to the region, not only Afghanistan, but the global community. The fact that we are remaining involved, that we are trying to finish the conflicts that we've started, and the fact that we have shown such a commitment as to drop what is quoted as the mother of all bombs on a very remote region of Afghanistan means that we are not only trying to mitigate the problems that are there, but actually get to the roots of some of these problems.
Now, Josh, how does this affect foreign diplomacy going into the future?
Well, it certainly is a boost for the Afghani military that the United States works closely with, but it also shows that we're willing to act somewhat unilaterally in another country and leave a lot of damage in our tracks. So that is worrisome to the international community. On top of that, us acting unilaterally in Syria poses an inherent threat with our relationship with Russia. So with all the international communities coming together, such as NATO and the G summits, it is important that the United States stands resolute in its beliefs and also stands that it is affirming its commitment to the international community, that way to maintain trust and stability within these regions.
And earlier today, President Trump did not clarify whether he was the one that gave the authorization for the bombing What do you make of that?
I think that's a real irresponsibility by the Trump administration. It shows that there is not an active leadership model that they're completely aware of. It also poses a true threat to the way our democracy looks in general. If the commander-in-chief of the military isn't exactly aware or willing to name if he knew this information, it poses a really strong threat to not only the stability of our military apparatus, but also the credibility of the administration.
Well, Josh, we'll see you later on tonight at 7:30 for Talking Points. Thanks so
sir.
much for being here.
Absolutely.
The American Society of Civil Engineers will be hosting the Upstate Regional Student Conferences next weekend at SU. There are a series of competitions, including a steel bridge competition, concrete canoe competition, and a mead paper presentation. Students from different colleges in upstate New York will be attending, including Cornell University, University of Buffalo, and the U.S. Military Academy, West Point. The iSchool has announced a new master's degree in applied data science. The new program will be integrated with the Whitman School of Management to use data science to solve problems for organization. Whitman Associate Dean for Master's Programs, Donald Harder, said that job opportunities for individuals with big data experience have increased in the past 3 years. The program can be completed in less than 2 years and will start in the fall for both online and on-campus enrollment.
April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and across the country, organizations are promoting awareness for relationship and sexual abuse. CitrusTV reporter Sabrina Maggiore explains how Syracuse University is getting involved.
The month of April is National Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and this year's theme is Engaging New Voices. The focus of this year's campaign is involving community leaders and bystanders in preventing sexual assault.
As a community, I think that we can act as bystanders and really help to intervene, not just when you see something that might potentially turn into an assault, but in those smaller moments where those people are kind of testing out the waters to see what our campus is like and what the environment is here.
Sexual Assault Awareness Month is a university-wide collaboration that aims to inform, raise awareness for, and support those impacted by sexual and relationship violence.
Fortunately, there's a really high prevalence of sexual violence in our country and the world. So we know that 1 in 5 women and 1 in 16 men will be sexually assaulted by the time they graduate college. So chances are someone will be directly or indirectly impacted by this while they're here. And we want people to be aware of the resources that are available, if they happen to be impacted themselves or if they have a loved one that is impacted by this.
The Office of Health Promotion has partnered with various other campus organizations to bring us a series of awareness events. This Tuesday, the Office of Health Promotion hosted its Tie-Dye for Empowerment event. The month continues with discussions, a panel session, and 3 trauma processing workshops, all culminating in a talk by keynote speaker Mirabelle Jones on Monday, April 24th at 7:30 in Gifford Auditorium. The Office of Health Promotions is encouraging students to explore their website for more details on programming and for information about the university's on-campus confidential resources. Sabrina Maggiore, CitrusTV.
Well, after yesterday's overcast skies, we had some sunny skies earlier today.
That's right, but just like yesterday, it's still a bit chilly today. So Jack Watson's here to give us the latest. Jack?
Thanks a lot, Mike and Maria. I tell you what, we were really spoiled in the beginning of the week. Monday we had a high of 80 degrees and then Tuesday 68, but it seems like we're getting a little more par for the course as we're in the middle of the week right now. Syracuse 50 degrees, Cortland 49, Ithaca 51, Rochester 52, Penn 52 as well, and down there in Elmira 54 degrees. And now on campus 50 degrees, sunny and clear for the first time since Monday and Tuesday, but those temperatures will be climbing again. We'll talk more about that on my full forecast when Citrus TV News Live at 6 returns. Guys?
Coming up, the doctor that United Airlines forced off a flight earlier this week plans to sue the airline over injuries he sustained during the altercation.
And Syrian President Bashar al-Assad said that no one died in the chemical attack last week that reportedly killed more than 80 people. How did the U.S. respond? Well, we'll have more about that after the break.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I had something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
What are you, superheroes?
Just four brothers who hate bullies and love this city.
Gear up, guys.
Hey, look, it's those guys.
Some drinks.
Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the CitrusTV newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at CitrusTV News, your campus news leader.
United Airlines' forceful removal of a passenger has left the passenger injured.
David Dow received a concussion, a broken nose, a sinus injury, and 2 broken teeth as a result of being forcefully removed from a flight this week.
United Airlines released an apology statement saying they are reviewing their policy and training programs and will refrain from forcibly removing passengers from planes in the future.
Dow's lawyer, Thomas Demetrio, spoke at a press conference about this incident this morning.
Here's the law, real simple. If you're going to eject a passenger, under no circumstances can it be done with unreasonable force or violence. That's the law. If unreasonable force and violence is used under a set of circumstances, the common carrier, United Airlines in this case, is responsible.
President Trump has officially given the states the ability to defund Planned Parenthood.
The resolution will reverse the Health and Human Services rule created by the Obama administration next year. The rule prevented defunding health care providers for any reason other than not being able to deliver services in an effective manner.
Now states can withhold federal family plan funding if they provide abortions.
A judge of the New York Court of Appeals was found dead in the Hudson River on Wednesday.
Judge Sheila Abdus-Salam was the first African-American woman to serve on the court after her appointment in 2013. She was reported missing on Tuesday by her husband.
An investigation is currently underway and the cause of death is not yet determined. She was hailed as a trailblazer by Governor Cuomo and a pioneer by Mayor Bill de Blasio.
And North Korea is ready for its 6th nuclear test.
North Korea has conducted 5 nuclear tests in the past, 3 of them under leader Kim Jong-un. The increase in nuclear weapons testing is the result of strong U.S. military action against North Korea.
A North Korean official said that the aggressive acts of war on the part of the United States are getting increasingly reckless. Defense Secretary James Mattis also had strong words on the situation today.
In regards to North Korea, we are working with international partners in order to defuse the situation, but the bottom line is North Korea's got to change its behavior.
The Syrian president has denied that the chemical attack that killed 89 people, including children, ever happened.
President Bashar al-Assad called reports on the attack 100% fabrication, claiming that photos of the incident were staged. He reasoned that details could not be trusted as they came from a former al-Qaeda affiliate.
However, the details in question came from eyewitnesses, victims, and medical officials.
From the Citrus TV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
Mid-50s defining our day today. 54 degrees our high. Sunshine throughout the day, but it was considerably chillier than it was earlier in the week. But there is a big change ahead for the weekend. Our future satellite and radar telling us just some benign clouds moving into the region, and that's a nice break for us because the past couple of Fridays, it's been very rainy, wintry weather as well. Tonight's forecast, a low of 32 degrees, clear throughout the night. That's the big change, but it's not just chilly. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's flat out cold. Our Easter weekend outlook here, Friday 61 degrees and Saturday 68. Sunday dropping down to 65 degrees. We're back in the 60s and 70s after some cold early in the week. But rain is likely later in the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. We'll see that with our Citrus TV 5-day forecast here. 61 degrees on Friday. And then Saturday we see the rain moving in, 65 degrees, 59 the low that day. Sunday, 75 degrees, summer-like temperatures, but the consequence there, thunderstorms, we can't expect those to move out by the night. And Monday, 50 degrees, so we're consistently back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. You might as well turn on that oldie station, guys.
Now, Jack, we got some rain this week, but for how long should we expect it to stay this coming weekend?
Well, this coming weekend, it's going to be on and off on Saturday, but Sunday is when you're going to expect the most consistent rain, 90% chance of rain that day, and it's going to move out by Sunday night.
What about next week? Can I go golfing? I'm dying.
Well, you and me both, because next week it's going to be pretty consistently 50s and 60s. I wouldn't quite say it's golfing weather yet, because I prefer it to be in the 70s and 80s when I'm golfing.
Take what you can get.
Yeah, you take what you can get. That's exactly right.
So, Jack, it's been really warm lately, so can I start putting my jacket away? Can I bring it home when I go home for Easter break this weekend?
Well, the winter coat can probably go away, but if you have a light jacket, I would definitely keep that on campus because there is going to be some rain, and with the rain can come chilliness, guys.
All right, thank you. And coming up, garbage disposals across the country are recalled after people report incidents of flying metal during usage.
And Rocky actor Sylvester Stallone is suing Warner Brothers over compensation from a role in the early 1990s. We'll have more on this story and more after the break.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the Citrus TV newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at Citrus TV News, your campus news leader.
Americans have become complacent. According to an economist, economic and political growth and productivity have declined since the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Even when accounting for inflation, men today make less than men did in 1969. He advises people to take more risks to be happier, and immigrants are the most likely to take risks and are considered the least complacent class. He urges the government to spend more money on research in order to jumpstart risk-taking and change. And despite a United Airlines passenger being forcibly removed, overbooking flights will still occur. Although 40,000 people were forced out of their seats last year, it represents only 0.004% of airline passengers. Senior airlines credit analysts at Standard & Poor's say that banning overbooking would reduce load factors and create higher fees and fares to compensate for the losses. And a set of fraternal twins born in Texas were born 2 weeks apart. Amara was born at 24 weeks weighing 1 pound 3 ounces. Her brother was born at 26 weeks at 2 pounds 2 ounces. The twins were born nearly 4 months early, and despite being in intensive care for lung and respiratory circulation concerns, the twins are expected to go home before their due date, May 5th.
Anaheim Manufacturing Company and Moen Incorporated garbage disposals are being recalled due to parts that break off and can be hazardous upon impact. There have been 22 reports of metal coming out of the disposals and 3 reports of the metal part hitting consumers. The disposals were sold between December 2015 and March 2017. Consumers should stop using the recalled disposals and contact Anaheim Manufacturing for a new garbage disposal installed at no cost. Sylvester Stallone is suing Warner Brothers. According to the actor, Warner Brothers did not properly compensate him for his role in the 1993 film Demolition Man. Stallone was required to be paid 15% of the profits, but stopped receiving payments in 1997. After his representative complained in 2014, he received a check for $2.8 million. Stallone is currently suing Warner Brothers for the remaining earnings, interest, and damages.
Coming up, all your sports on the Hill, plus the wonderful, wacky world of professional baseball. Stay tuned.
Have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority. Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness. I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, baby.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
Welcome back, I'm Chris Venson. It's tough to stay on top. College lacrosse knows that all too well this season. In the last 7 weeks, the newly anointed #1 seed fell within the next 7 days. This weekend, that trend could continue. #1 Syracuse faces last year's Kings of the Hill, North Carolina. UNC has faltered some this season, but SU head coach John Desko understands how tough it is to win when there's a target on his team's back.
Damon's sitting on top. I mean, they're the national champs, so they're going to get everybody's best game when they play them. And they've had to deal with this year, along with all the parity. I mean, no one's been #1 for very long this year. So it's it's a good group, and I'm sure they're going to be fired up. I think it's senior day down there, so there'll be a lot of emotion down at Chapel Hill this weekend.
Part of it is this team that I'm on. This is one of the tightest knit groups I've ever been a part of. There's just so many guys that bring something to the table every day, and the competitiveness of the team really gets everyone going, and I enjoy that, and I enjoy being around that, and it really fuels everybody and myself. I fuel off of everybody else's energies.
Moving on, earlier this week, SU women's tennis faltered 4-3 against the Virginia Tech. The Hokies were victorious on strong play from their singles team. The SU's number 2, 3, and 4 seeds all lost to Virginia Tech. In doubles, Gabriela Knutson and Miranda Ramirez logged the team's only victory in paired play. SU now has 7 wins and 11 losses on the season. Let's take a look at America's national pastime, shall we? Both New York teams in action on this beautiful spring evening. The Yankees host the Rays in the Bronx at the top of the hour. A cool 58 degrees expected for first pitch. The Mets are in Miami for a 7 o'clock ball game with the Marlins. And guys, you can't really take in statistics too much into consideration this early in the season, but that doesn't mean there's a lot of fun stuff happening in the MLB. Just yesterday, Aaron Judge, the outfielder for the New York Yankees, hit a ball 116 miles an hour.
I saw that. I'm glad the pitcher's okay. He just
Jumbo
ducked out of the
Diaz
way.
just jumped out of the way. Yep, it was pretty funny. A little scary moment early on in spring. And where the Mets are playing tonight in Miami, last night a cat got loose on the field. A little gray cat scaled some walls. It was National Pet Day, so the internet had a great time with that. It was a perfect way for a delay. I'm sorry, really,
trying too hard.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit, but it's a great time to be a sports fan. They've got the MLB, you got the NBA playoffs, but the sports fans in New York mostly care about the NHL playoffs.
Go Rangers.
Yes, absolutely. The Rangers yesterday beat Montreal Canadiens 2-0 in the first round. They took a 1-0 series lead. The Blue Shirts goalie Henrik Lundqvist, he's one of the best in the business, but he's historically played poorly against the Canadiens. As at the Bell Center, he's logged a career worst save percentage, but none of that last night. Lundqvist shut out Montreal and recorded 31 saves. The Rangers take to the ice for Game 2 tomorrow at 7 o'clock.
Thanks, Chris.
No problem.
We'll be back after the break with a last look at the weather.
Don't go away.
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even bought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for? Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
So Jack, along with many other students this weekend, I'll be traveling home for Easter. So what's the weather supposed to be like over the weekend, but especially on Easter Sunday?
Well, tomorrow the weather's going to be absolutely beautiful if you're traveling outside the region. As we can see with our Friday day planner, 45 degrees at 9 a.m. in the morning, and noon, 57 degrees, an increase of 12 degrees, and then an increase of just 1 as we round out the day at 58 degrees. It's our first sunny Friday in a while if you're moving out of the region. It's going to be beautiful, but there are some weekend storms inbound.
All right, thanks, Jack. And coming up on OTN, we've got On the Bench at 6:30, followed by Juice and Java at 7.
And then make sure you tune into a brand new episode of our live political talk show, Talking Points, at 7:30.
And that's all the time we have for tonight. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Facebook at CitrusTV News. I'm Maria Cinti.
And I'm Mike Riccardi. Have a good night, Syracuse.